What's Okay, what is up, everyone? I'm Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, is John Rambo.
Here this time.
Yes, this time. And welcome to the very first live streaming edition of Smark Guys, our wrestling commentary show, and we're excited to be launching it like this for multiple reasons. I mean, number one, to be able to have a live show that you can do and be interactive with fans and such is pretty cool. But number two, we have this cool template, and now we don't have to do any video editing anymore. We can just literally just upload it right away.
You're the one that had to do that. I would usually just sit.
That's true.
Like this.
While the video edited.
Yeah.
Oh, people are saying turn the music off or down. There we go.
Turn it up.
Turn the music
You
up.
said turn it up. I saw someone say that.
Turn the music up.
Blast it.
Alright, so welcome. This is Smart Guys for May 24th, 2013. Doing it on a Friday this week. But that's fine. And we got a lot to talk about because we didn't have a chance to do a show last week.
Yeah, it was my fault. I got tied up with some stuff. So I apologize. People are looking forward to that. I'm here today to kind of make it up to you. And thank you for not sending me too much hate mail for that. You know.
How fucking dare you?
No, I shouldn't get any, so it's a great audience.
Very good. So today what we're going to do, since we missed it last week, we're actually going to recap Extreme Rules. We're going to talk about what happened at the pay-per-view, the results. We're going to talk about this week's Monday Night Raw, and we'll talk a little bit about this week's TNA as well, because some things kind of culminated on TNA this week, this storylines, pretty much exactly how I think we thought they were going to turn out, but we'll talk a little bit about that. But the other cool thing about this is that because we are doing direct captures live streaming, there's no time limit. We don't have to worry about after 30 minutes the camera will cut off and we get to jump to another portion. It'll actually just be a solid, show. We don't have to worry about time constraints, so that's always a good thing.
Those were fun though sometimes. I mean,
well, yeah,
we can add some in once in a while.
Maybe. All right, so Extreme Rules pay-per-view just happened this past Sunday.
I did not see the pay-per-view.
I actually didn't see it either. I was busy, working, so neither of us saw it. But we did read the results. We did hear some things of what happened. So we're gonna go through the results here, talk about each match. You had The Miz in the pre-show defeating Cody Rhodes. And at this point, I feel so bad about The Miz because he's like the pre-show guy now. At one point it was Santino. Now they've turned it into The Miz is the pre-show guy. He never actually gets to have a high-profile match on a pay-per-view. He never even really has a high-profile program anymore. Yeah. I mean, take a look at the program pre-WrestleMania. Building up to WrestleMania, the Intercontinental title, he wins it, and then he drops it again, and then it's just, written off. So, I feel real bad for Miz. He's been kind of in limbo, and I don't know if they're ever going to use him again at any kind of a capacity where he's being, being pushed.
A lot of guys are in that. You can see the same for Cody too, except for the Miz was at the top.
Right, the Miz was there already. Cody hasn't gotten there yet, so maybe
he's just back in that mix of that sea of lost guys floating around.
The mid-card pool, where every once in a while they'll draw one out.
Pretty much everyone's in that except for Cena, and then there's everyone else. But they're all could just be in any position.
I guess that's kind of true. You had Chris Jericho got his rematch with Fandango, and he actually won this match. And from what everyone's saying, it was a pretty good match. But Jericho was like, he's happy that he got his revenge from WrestleMania, but Fandango says, oh, it's a fluke. So of course they're going to continue the program. And I think that's the running theme today, is that WrestleMania never ended. The things at WrestleMania didn't matter, and now all those programs are continuing months and months down the road.
And by the way, if you saw this pay-per-view, you pretty much saw SummerSlam.
Right.
So I think everything from this, they'll be at SummerSlam too.
Right, that's absolutely true.
So this is SummerSlam 1.0, and then you can see 2.0 later on in the summer.
Randy Orton defeats The Big Show in an Extreme Rules match, and I don't know if that's over or not, or if they'll be continuing that.
That's going to keep going too.
I mean,
let's keep it going.
The one program that is over is Sheamus versus Mark Henry. They had a strap match. Sheamus beats him, okay? But then on Monday they have Monday they show the clips that they didn't show on the pay-per-view, where Mark Henry, after he was backstage after he lost, and they interview him and they say, Mark, what are you going to do now? And he says, I'm going home. And he just leaves. So now there's speculation, or is that it? Is Mark Henry off?
No, he's got I believe he's got an injury from the match or something like that.
Is he going to be repackaged? There's rumors he'll be repackaged and come back as something different.
Sexual chocolate.
He'll be back as the great face Sexual Chocolate.
He's going to restart the nation.
He'll
be back.
The Shield beats the WWE Tag Team Champions Hell No and ends up winning the tag team titles.
Yeah, that's cool.
You got Reigns and Rollins now hold the tag team titles. That's cool. And then subsequently, Dean Ambrose defeats Kofi Kingston. He now has the U.S. Championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good, but you have to... these belts mean anything, so it's not really...
That's true.
It's not really like they won anything, so it's a good opportunity for them to establish the belts now, along with the Shield. You make them... they've been making the Shield strong.
Right.
So if you keep the belts on them...
Make them mean something. Have people constantly going up against them, challenging them, and then everyone gets knocked down. And now it really builds them up to be solidified champions.
It makes you a little scared that they have the belts. Because everyone who has belts loses.
That's true.
For instance, I think on SmackDown, it's like Dean versus Kofi again.
Yeah.
It's like he'll probably lose because it's not a title match.
That's true.
So
tonight on
that's
SmackDown.
That's not gonna do anyone any favors. That's just more of the same.
It's true.
I mean, the U.S. belt means nothing. I mean, look how many guys have had this. Antonio Cesaro had it for 8 months.
And he did nothing for it. Now he's buried. Now he's freaking buried.
Right, so
ridiculous. And then the biggest matches were the title matches, obviously. So you had Alberto Del Rio against Swagger for the #1 contendership. Okay, in an I Quit match.
Dolph was out.
Because Dolph had a concussion the week before, supposedly when Jack Swagger kicked him in the head on SmackDown. It actually gave him a legitimate concussion, so he could not compete.
And I felt annoyed that I felt bad that we didn't have a show last week because my predictions were going to be pretty much spot on as always.
Well, I mean, it was a
pretty
predictable pay-per-view overall. Like you could pretty much see where they're going with these angles. So Del Rio goes over Swagger. Swagger is now, who knows? Like he's in no man's land. Who's he? What program is he going to have?
He's going to fight his manager. Eventually.
Well, he's gonna fight Zeb Coulter?
He's gonna fight Zeb.
Oh my god.
He'll turn on him and go, I don't want to be a racist anymore.
I don't know. Like, this is exactly what we said was gonna happen.
It'll be like Jack is backstage with a bunch of like minorities, and they're like having fun.
They're all buddies.
Yeah, they're buddies, and then Zeb walks in. He's like, "What the hell is this?" And then he's like all upset, and that's the storyline they're gonna do. And then they have a match or something.
Wow. Alright, so basically Jack Swagger's now buried. As you'll see, we'll talk about Raw and everything too.
Yeah.
It's very unsure what's going to happen with him, and this is exactly what we said was going to happen after WrestleMania. You had this, new storyline for him. He was repackaged before WrestleMania, white hot into WrestleMania. Then he loses at WrestleMania, so he's deflated, but then they kept him in the title picture. Now he's like out, and now he's done. Like, what are they going to do with this anymore, So we'll see what happens. Brock Lesnar against Triple H in a cage match, or was it Hell in a Cell? Or steel cage?
It was a steel cage, but it's not much different.
Yeah. So what ends up happening at the end of this match is Brock Lesnar clobbers Triple H with the sledgehammer. So the whole storyline is, oh no, Triple H, will he ever be the same? Did he get a concussion from the sledgehammer blow? And that leads into Monday Night Raw, which we'll talk about. So now Brock Lesnar is
the Hell in the Cell match will be coming next.
Oh, come on, John. Don't say that. That program has to be over.
No, it's not over.
No,
it's not over at all.
Oh my God, come on.
Brock Lesnar came back to pay him millions of dollars to have multiple matches with Triple H and Cena one time.
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to see that again.
Congratulations, everyone.
I didn't want to see it on this last pay-per-view, which is why I didn't watch the last pay-per-view. I don't want to see that again.
WrestleMania seemed like that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
But now they're actually doing the same storyline again, where Triple H is, he's physically, before he was emotionally beaten down, but now he's physically not what he was. And he has to come back from this.
Well, we'll talk about that when we talk about Raw, where that's going with that plot line, okay? And the main event was Ryback versus John Cena in a last man standing match. The match ends with Ryback spearing Cena through the LED lights on the stage, and both men cannot get up for the 10 count, okay?
Yeah, I guess people said it was kind of cool to see, but you can't do that. It's a last man standing match. And there's no man stands.
No man can stand in the last man standing match.
You can't have pay-per-view main events where no one wins, man. It's just not right.
It's awful.
It's just not right at all.
And it's bad because apparently after the pay-per-view ended, Ryback got right up.
Well, they showed Cena on WWE.com.
Yeah.
And he just got up off the stretcher.
Right. So Ryback gets right up, walks out.
No one sells anything.
Cena gets up off the stretcher. So why don't you make it a 20 count? If it's last man standing, why doesn't the man who gets up first win the match?
Charles Robinson on Twitter, it's probably not even him, he said that he was so blown away by what he saw.
Oh my God.
That he lost track of what was going on.
What the hell?
And he was more concerned with getting them help than doing the match or following the rules of the match.
Annoying. Alright, so anyway, the bottom line is the pay-per-view was kind of fluff. The pay-per-view was kind of... Besides the Shield...
SummerSlam. It's the first part of SummerSlam.
Besides the Shield winning the titles, outside of it, everything was like a continuation of this program from WrestleMania. You had a really bad main event between Ryback and Cena with a crappy ending. And it's like, ugh, what a bad experience. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't pay for it because I would have been very pissed off if I had paid to see that. You know.
Well, we got to see Raw, so.
Well,
yeah.
We had something else to get pissed off about. All right, so Raw this week kicks off with an ambulance coming out. Everyone's like, "What is this? Why is there an ambulance driving to the ring? Has John Cena refused medical treatment, hijacked an ambulance, and driven to the arena, or something stupid?"
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, I'm sure they didn't think about this, and most people don't know, but that's where Owen Hart died.
Oh, really?
It was actually the anniversary of that.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
So it's kind of, you know.
Are you serious?
You know, obviously, I don't think they meant to do that. Or,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, double check these things. It's a little messed up.
Oh my God!
So they start with an ambulance coming out, and there you go.
So the ambulance comes out. I feel horrible. I feel horrible. The ambulance comes out.
It's not your fault.
The doors open. Out comes Ryback, and they start playing his theme, which is odd. Why did they play his theme when he comes out of an ambulance? So he comes out, and then he gets on top of the ambulance, and he starts cutting a promo about how even though there was no winner in the Last Man Standing match, he was the one who got up of his own power. He walked out of that arena. Cena had to be helped out on a stretcher. He should be the champion, but now there's not going to be a way for that to happen on the next match they're going to have because he's declaring that at the next pay-per-view, which is Payback, I guess it's called.
His promo sucked.
Oh, it's terrible.
He's doing the typical you have no education and no.
Oh yeah, he cuts it on the he totally rips on the audience.
Just the typical stuff.
You're uneducated. You don't have the discipline to be like me.
Just the generic script that they give to all these guys. You know, you're fat and you're not as smart as me and you're not as good shape as me and,
right.
and that stuff. You know.
So. He says the next match between him and Cena will be an ambulance match where you have to throw your opponent into the ambulance and close the doors, and that's how you win.
And the last time they did it, what was it? Cena and Kane.
It was Cena and Kane.
It's not a good. It's not a good match.
No, it's stupid because what they always do, they throw him in there and then he tries to close the door. No, and then he stops him from closing the door. It's so dumb.
It came from Vince Russo at WCW. I think was where that started.
Ugh.
That's what you want to be doing matches based on. I mean that. Really.
Awful. And I don't know. Again, another match coming up with these two.
There'll be some other bullshit ending, too.
I really feel it's going to be a shitty match, some crappy ending.
There's no way that Cena's going to lose the title. There's no way that
right.
They don't want Ryback to lose. So there's going to be some other kind of thing.
Some stupid thing, yeah. Okay. The first match of the night was The Miz and Chris Jericho teaming up in a tag team match against Wade Barrett and Fandango.
Fandango's done.
It was so dumb because Fandango didn't wrestle.
Yeah, but he's got nothing behind him now. It's all fizzled away.
He's lost.
And he's always in there with Jericho because I just don't think he can. I don't think he can carry a match.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think he's got it. So he's always got to be Jericho. He's got to bring him along.
And he doesn't even wrestle. That's what I mean. He doesn't even wrestle in this match. It's like he goes outside. What happens is Wade's in the ring wrestling. He goes outside the ring, starts dancing with the girl.
Summer.
Yeah, Summer Rae.
Summer Rae.
They start dancing, and so.
Yeah, why would she dance with him? And then he just drops her, right?
Right. Well, no, it's fake. It's fake. Like he pretends like she hurt her leg or whatever, I think. And then, oh no, that was last week. Sorry, I'm getting confused with last week. You're right.
This week she actually dances with Jericho, but the Jericho just drops her.
Jericho, he's like, nope.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. So The Miz and Chris Jericho win because it ends up being a 2-on-1 handicap match, and then after that they go after Fandango. Fandango abandons Summer Rae. Summer Rae dances with Jericho. Looks like they're gonna kiss, and Jericho laughs in her face, lets go of her, and walks away.
Yeah, it's a circus, man.
So
it's part of the variety show. It's dancing. People doing things out of character for no reason. They just to have a goofy pratfall.
Stupid stuff. Sheamus defeats Titus O'Neil, so basically they have nothing for Sheamus to do anymore.
Sheamus is slipped down.
He has no. Yeah, what's he gonna do now? He's done. He's not in the title picture. He's got no one to wrestle.
They're either like very hot with him or cold with him. Like when he first came in, and then he eventually won the title, and he was like, they were like, oh, this guy's great, and then they buried him for like a year, and then he won the other title, and then now they're kind of like, yeah, he's done. And, all right.
Yeah, I don't know what else they're gonna do with him. What else could they possibly do? Who is he to wrestle? Maybe he'll end up wrestling Ryback next or something. You know.
He's gonna fight Curtis Axel.
Well, that's what we're about to talk about. Paul Heyman comes out, basically cuts a promo all anti-Triple H. That Triple H got destroyed by Brock Lesnar.
It's a great promo, and they let him do this from time to time. And a lot of it's true. It's a lot of stuff that people say. Well, they hold people back and this and that.
Right.
And I think they kind of do that to kind of poke you a little bit. So some of the fans will go, oh, look,
maybe something will change.
They're changing now. It's kind of like the CM Punk stuff. You know, when he did it, you're like, they're going to change things. They're speaking my language now.
Right.
But they're not going to. They just do it to kind of mess with you, and then they're just doing what they do.
They won't follow through with it. I mean, with Punk, they did for about a year, and then they dropped it. So we'll see what happens. But his new Paul Heyman guy is announced, and he comes out, and it's Michael McGillicuddy. Only really
people on Twitter were saying it was going to be RVD.
What the fuck?
So I went on there and
why would you think that?
The top trending thing was RVD, and I was like, "What? Why?" And then people were like, "It's gonna be him."
Oh my god!
Well, I know it is just not gonna be him.
It's not RVD.
But yeah, it was the former Michael McGillicuddy.
Right.
He's now Curtis Axel.
Repackaged as Curtis Axel. Yes.
From his father Kurt Hennig, and his grandfather Larry the Axe Handle Hennig. So.
And I like the promo. He says that basically being a legacy in this day and age seems to be more of an albatross than anything else. It actually holds you back.
Oh, everything he said was great.
You know,
his name is Joe Hennig. I think that's probably a better name than Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel's more of like a porn name. Like if I was gonna get in porn, and maybe I will someday, I'd be Curtis
Axel.
I'd be Curtis Axel.
You grind the girls with your axle. You grind the axle.
I think most of the names they give these guys, most of the names they give these guys are like porn names because they're like names that like no one would ever really have. Like the Shield, like all their names are friggin' porn star names.
Right.
Pretty much, you know. But yeah, I don't know. They did so like they get, you know, it's a good thing they're doing. Michael McGillicuddy, that was horrible. I mean, that's a terrible name.
Right? Yeah, that was terrible. It was.
They definitely. He's one of the guys that definitely botched his entire career, and he couldn't have made money with because he does have this legacy.
He was like the second wave Nexus, and then he was just dropped out of nowhere.
He was just superstars bound.
Nothing, you know.
It's a great way to reestablish him. It's exactly what they're supposed to be doing, is bringing guys in and trying to make guys good and accentuating the fact that he has this legacy instead of just acting like he had nothing.
Right, hide it, pretend that he's not.
But then Triple H comes out. They go back and forth a little bit, and Triple H smacks him, and he just lays there on the ground.
And he does nothing about it.
He's supposed to be this new badass guy. Paul Heyman's in his ear, and he's supposed to be this new character, and he's a badass or whatever. And you get smacked, and you would go back at the guy. Just sit there like you're, you know, afraid of him.
Right. You would think you would get up right in his face and start, you know, brawling or something.
That's not the way to do this. And then they decide to have set up a match for later on in the night.
Right. So it's going to be Triple H versus Kurt Axel for the main event of Monday Night Raw.
Even like Axel Hennig would have been better, I think.
That would have been cool, I think. Yeah.
But they want to own the whole name. Because they want to feel like they're the ones.
Could have called him the Perfect Son. I don't know. You're right. That's what it is. They want to own the name for the trademark, and they can make merch and all that. You know.
They probably make more with the other way. But they want to feel like they're the one in control of the guy.
Right.
We made this guy.
He's part of our brand.
We branded him. We're the reason he's successful. We made him this way. You know?
Great mentality to have. All right, the next match: Big E Langston against Alberto Del Rio. And of course, this is because again, Dolph is still not cleared to wrestle. So every week we have Big E now in a match. So this week, Big E is going up in a singles match against Del Rio. It's a pretty decent match. Of course, Big E is not a very good wrestler at this point. He's still pretty green. So, you know, he's doing spots, but they're all big man spots. Oh, a big punch, a big slam. He's running to the turnbuckle, and Del Rio moves, so shoulder to the turnbuckle.
The announcer's like freaking like, you know, foam with the mouth. Oh, he's so big.
Oh, he's so huge.
He's so strong.
Look at the size of his titties. He's huge.
He's a beast. He's strong. He's big.
The monster Langston.
I just repeat that over and over again, you know.
So, what ends up happening in this match is AJ distracts the referee, and while the referee's distracted, Langston gives him a thumb to the eye, and then does his move and wins the match. Surprisingly, out of nowhere, wins the match. And I don't think anyone expected that, but I think that they're doing it just because Ziggler's not around, so they need to have like some back and forth between maybe Langston and Del
go
Rio.
Back and forth and extend it a little bit. Kill some time.
Right.
And then I finally defeated your bodyguard. Now I want you. That kind of deal.
And then, if anything, this will build up. Like if Del Rio eventually does beat Ziggler, it's like he beat two men because he had to face, you know, Langston and then
Langston's going to turn on Ziggler eventually.
I'm sure that'll happen. You know, he'll go face and then he'll go to Superstars. AJ surprisingly actually had a match. She had a singles match against Layla, and she wins the match using a new finisher. It's this new submission hold that they're calling, I think it's called the Black Widow.
Yeah, that goes way back. It's freaking Antonio Inoki's move.
Oh wow.
Who's in the Hall of Fame actually.
Right.
That was his move from
years
ago.
Yeah, so she does it. She does it pretty well too. You know, it's a cool looking submission. So it's nice that she has a submission. It's too bad she has no one to wrestle. But, you know, it's nice that she has a submission.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
The rest of the divas are busy with who's freaking sending text messages or something and this and that. So
Cody Rhodes in a singles match.
There's no sold. There's no sold it completely.
Cody Rhodes.
I'm not talking about that.
And another. I just don't want to talk about the divas because it's such a bad division.
All right.
Like,
fair enough.
Cody Rhodes defeats Zack Ryder in a singles match.
It almost seems like Zack would be like released after this match.
That's it. You've lost enough, sir. Go home.
It almost seems like this was your last match. Go have a fun time, and then you go home afterwards.
He did at one point in the match. He actually was like winning, like he was, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Cody just reversed it into his his finisher. I said super like a fighting game.
Super.
Into his super move. He threw a Hadouken.
Shinku Hadouken.
No, but you know, he was for one point looked like he was doing well, and then got squashed immediately. So, I don't know what's gonna happen with Zack Ryder at this point. It's pretty bad. We had the Shield has their rematch against Team Hell No. So right off the bat, they get their rematch on Raw for their tag titles.
Well, wasn't it a 6-man?
Oh, no. No? Oh, yeah, you're right. It was a 6-man. That's right. I think, no.
What was I watching?
No, they're supposed to have their rematch soon, they announced. But I don't know.
No, Raw was a 6-man, though.
You're right. Raw was a 6-man. When the hell? I'm getting confused because I think they announced they're going to have it, like, this week.
Is it on SmackDown? Because I know SmackDown they're doing Dean and Kofi.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
That might have been what they're talking about.
I'm getting confused now. All right, so you're right. It is a 6-man. It is a 6-man, and no surprisingly, the Shield wins. The Shield always wins. When
that's not bad.
Unified
that's not bad, though.
No, I think it's a good thing.
Except for the week before, when John Cena beat all 3 of them. The week
Well,
before.
Well, we won't speak of that.
And that's how I knew. Like, that's how you knew they were going to win all the belts at the pay-per-view. Because anytime someone's going to win at the pay-per-view, they lose.
They get squashed ridiculously.
They lose before it. Or if they're gonna, I don't know. I don't understand why they do that. It's very formulaic the way they go about things.
Yeah.
These guys are gonna get the rub at the pay-per-view, so they could lose this time, and it won't hurt them. But even though it does, because that was the first time the Shield lost.
Right.
So why did you do that?
But this match is good. It's a typical Shield match where everyone gets showcased, including on both sides. Like everyone looks pretty solid, pretty good.
Yeah.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, they finished it with the Rollins flying knee was the finishing move, and they get the pin, they get the win. So. Pretty good. They're looking strong. They've got the titles. If anything, I think this is what they're doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
On WWE TV. So I hope they keep it up.
People still care about it. That's what it's all about.
Okay. So now we were talking about what are they going to do with Swagger now that he's out of the title picture. So they announced that he's going to have a match, and they have 3 candidates to vote on who will be wrestling. So let's take a look at the candidates. The first one is the Great Khali.
Oh, they totally like set this up.
Of course.
Yeah, it was totally freaking planted, man.
The Great Khali, R-Truth, or Randy Orton.
I wonder who's gonna.
I wonder who the fans will vote for in this Raw active match. And the winner was Khali, and he squashed. No, it wasn't. That's not what happened. Randy Orton, of course.
If Khali did win, they would have lied and said he did it. So.
Right. An amazing landslide victory. You know, Randy Orton wins, and then of course the match. Guess who wins? You know what I mean? Like, so that's it. Like that. Now Jack Swagger is in jobber territory. I don't know what program they're going to set him up with.
Yeah, he's right back where he was.
You know,
he's in the shuffle.
So I don't know what's going to happen with him. And then the main event, Curtis Axel against Triple H.
I wanted to hear what Randy Orton had to say. I wanted to hear his views on immigration and stuff.
Oh, he loves it. He wants more people to just come in.
I feel like every time somebody fights Swagger, they should have to give their side of the.
There's this new law in Connecticut where they're trying to give illegal immigrants driver's licenses. Randy Orton actually started that whole movement.
Oh, he was the one behind.
He was out there petitioning. I saw him.
So that went down.
But anyway, yes.
They should have to do that. It only makes sense for the Swagger character.
That he's pro. He's pro.
Oh, that's so they agree with him. I don't know. They just come out and they say before the match, "This is what I think about this." And
oh my god,
if you're gonna do the storyline, you go all the way with it. You know?
Wow. All right. So the main event: Curtis Axel against Triple H, and we were talking about this actually.
We just watched it again.
We were watching parts of it.
We watched it again.
And this is interesting because you would think, okay, maybe we'll have Curtis go over them.
Well, the storyline going in is that Triple H, they keep saying he has these injuries, and then there's something with the doctor in the back or something, where he's like, he has to clear me or I'm going to fire him or something like that. I don't remember exactly what.
They were basically saying they didn't want him to wrestle because he had taken the sledgehammer blow to the head the night before.
They're saying he has a concussion.
Right.
And their whole thing, like, Dolph Ziggler actually has a concussion.
Right.
And he's out, but Triple H is, in the storyline, he's the tough guy. I don't care. I'll work and
right.
As a first match for Curtis Axel, I mean, didn't really do anything. They didn't give him anything to really make him shine.
He's not doing any spots really. He's a drop kick, like you said, drop kick, a punch,
he just punches and drop kicks. For the most part, Triple H beat the crap out of him. If you watch it, he pretty much dominated him.
In fact, when the match ends, Triple H was in the process of throwing him back in the ring.
He beat him up. He threw him back in.
Right. So Triple H is outside the ring, and all of a sudden, like he has to shake something off. Something's going on inside his head. He's like discombobulated. So he goes, he gets water, he pours it over his head. He goes to go back in the ring. No, he can't do it. Oh, he can't. He can barely stand. So then he goes and sits down on a chair, and the doc is shining the light in his eyes. And then all of a sudden he's like, "No, I want to keep wrestling." He gets up and he collapses, and then he's in front of the announce table. He can't even get himself up. So basically, he gets counted out. Although they never show it, because I guess what they're saying on the app is Curtis beat him.
Once he started going into his routine of he's like passing out. Right. They don't even show them.
Right.
They don't even show Curtis Axel at all. Boom, he's just off, and then straight shot.
It's all about Triple H.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that storyline, fine. Like, I don't think it's a really personally, I don't find it an interesting storyline. A guy pretending that he's, obviously he's gonna come back and have a match and shit. It's not really intriguing, like what's gonna happen here.
Right.
But if you want to do that, fine. But have Curtis Axel do something to him.
Right.
That causes it.
He hits him with a chair. He puts him in a sleeper hold, and he can't get out.
Slams his head into the post or something.
Right. Do something.
I mean, why do it like this? I mean, you didn't help him at all.
Oh,
is it the same storyline they did many years ago with Shawn Michaels? And I think it was him and Owen Hart, and like Owen gave him an enziguri, and then Michaels was down. They did the same exact ending, but Owen actually did something to
do it.
I don't understand I don't get it. Triple H, man, I just don't understand.
Yeah, so that's.
I think he would understand because he's like in a corporate position, so he has control over some things, I assume. And when he was in his championship prime, the way he was booked as a heel, like he was a strong heel, he would beat a lot of people. It's like the opposite of what they do now.
Right,
so I think he would understand that and try to implement that into the show a little bit.
No, it's different. Every heel must be this weak, cowardly, slimy person.
Yeah, like Ryback is now, and you have no intelligence, and you have no education.
Just generic stuff, nothing different, nothing original. And, this was their opportunity. Kurt Axel's debut. If he had legitimately beat Triple H.
Why not? Why not have him actually, do something to him, and then he pins him. It's not like he hurts Triple H, because then they could even still say, "Oh, he had these concussions." That's part of the reason he lost. That's
why.
It's not like people are gonna go, that are Triple H fans. Oh, this guy sucks now. He lost to Curtis Axel.
Right.
I will never watch again. Like, he doesn't.
Right. No.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
So it's pretty much wasted. It's kind of just squandered.
No, I'm sure he's gonna come out and say that he did.
I beat Triple H. He couldn't get up. I beat him so bad. He couldn't get back in the ring.
That's what they're going to say. But then everyone that actually saw it, his intelligence, going to go, well,
that's not what happened.
That's not really what happened. You're just doing, just being a heel like the way they want you to be. But it's more effective if they actually go through with it.
Right. So that's pretty much it for Raw this week. SmackDown hasn't happened yet, so obviously we can't talk about it. Well, we could if we wanted to spoil, but we're not going to spoil. So next week we'll be recapping what happened on SmackDown, anything else on Raw. Yada, yada, yada. So now we'll talk a little bit about TNA. And this week was kind of the culmination of several different plot lines that they've been going along with. So first of all, this is the return of Suicide. He comes back this Impact. Yeah. And he's in a triple threat match with Petey Williams and what's his name? The sleazy guy. I always forget his name.
Does that mean they're going to make a new video game?
Yes.
That's where
he came from. The character.
That's where he came from. Yeah.
So I'm not sure who he is, like who the wrestler is.
It's T.J. Perkins, who was in Ring of Honor for like a minute. A couple of years ago.
Okay.
He's good.
So
he does that X Division type.
Right.
You talking about Joey Ryan, the sleazy
Joey
guy?
Ryan, yes, that's his name. So they're in a triple threat match, and it's a weird match because you could tell right from the start, like Suicide's hitting like every spot. And no one else is getting any offense, and you're like,
I don't like the three-way X matches. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, you don't like the format.
No, because they just do spots. So
pretty much what it is, spot after spot.
And you got to get there's times where you got to do some wrestling. I mean, come on, man. That's all they do. They just do it a little bit, throw one guy out of the ring, the other guy does a spot.
The other guy comes in, another spot. Right.
So
this match, it ends where Petey Williams is actually about to do the Canadian Destroyer to Suicide. Joey Ryan stops him, and then Suicide does his finisher to Joey Ryan. I forget what his finisher is called. They called it something weird.
I don't remember
when he did
I
it.
didn't see this.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was because I've never seen Suicide. That was the first time I've ever seen him. I wasn't watching TNA when he was in before.
Like 2009.
Yeah, I wasn't watching at that point, so I'll have to keep watching to figure out what more about the guy. But he wins the match.
Not much to him.
Well,
it's the guy with the costume.
The guy with the costume.
He goes like this all the time. And
coming back.
He just flips, and that's pretty much it.
So he wins the match. And now he's in the triple threat match for the X Division title at Slammiversary, which actually is coming up. I don't think it's this weekend. It's the weekend after, I believe, June 2nd.
Yeah.
It's the day when we're going to be playing Marvel Heroes. That's when it is. So it's going to be a triple threat between him, Chris Sabin, and
Kenny King.
Kenny King, thank you. That'll be
I think the reason they did this for the X Division because they said, okay, the best X Division matches ever were the Joe, AJ, Daniels matches.
Right.
So if we make them all like this,
maybe they'll all be
like, but it doesn't work that way.
Maybe they'll all be good.
They don't have enough time in the matches, first of all, and then they just. It just doesn't work, man. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I also don't like the fact like Petey Williams lost to the previous match. He can't get a title shot ever again or something.
Right,
Kenny loses. And it's just it frustrates me. Sometimes I have normal matches once in a while.
All right, so done for the tag team division. This was the big week where I almost said Chris Harris again. I don't know why I do that every time I talk about James Storm. I say Chris Harris. James Storm needs
that guy. One hell of a. He went to WWE and then that was the end of him.
They never used him. Nope.
He was on a couple times. Was Brayden Walker or something?
Is that who it was?
And then after that, he was just fizzled out, and then his career was over. So I mean.
Okay. So anyway, James Storm. Last week it was announced that the tag team titles match at Slammiversary is going to be a fatal 4-way. It's going to be Bad Influence against Rude and Aries against Chavo and Hernandez. I'm surprised they haven't given these tag teams names yet. You know what I mean? Like they've been together for quite a while.
Well,
now.
they've got Bad Influence.
They only got one though. You know what I mean?
Aries and Rude.
Why can't they be the Mexicools or something?
The Mexicools. That's what you want. They're better off without
the
that.
Border Jumpers or something.
Whoa, let's forget.
All right. Anyway, and then it's going to be James
I mean,
Storm and a partner of his choosing.
Why James Storm's involved with this now? Even
because they have nothing else for him to do.
Nothing for him to do. Yeah.
So during the night they're teasing, like they have Chris Sabin comes up to him in the back. He's like, I'll be your partner if you want. He's like, no, dude, you're in the X Division, picture. Don't worry about the tag team titles right now. So then finally he's in the ring. And he says, I'm going to pick someone. All of a sudden, as he's doing this, who is it that comes out first? Shark Boy.
Holy shit.
Shark Boy comes out. And
wow.
he's still doing the Austin thing,
Oh, he's doing the Austin
He's still doing the Austin. He's, I want to kick some swamp holes in your shell ass and stupid, stupid stuff. You should pick me. Then, out of nowhere, Robbie E comes out. He's like, no, you need someone who's going to help you. You need me. And then all of a sudden, from behind everyone, Gunner comes into the ring. He's got a full, like a mountain man beard now. And he comes into the ring. He says almost nothing. He just grabs the mic. He says, if you want to win, you know who you need to pick. And he's
Gunner.
like, okay.
Gunner always wins.
He goes,
except for the many times he's lost.
Except for the many times he's lost.
Yes.
So he's all right, I'll see you on Sunday. And then all of a sudden Gunner turns around and he beats the crap out of Shark Boy and Robbie. And it was like, okay, so Gunner's now in this match.
Gunner might as well be in friggin' Aces and Eights. Fits in with them more than anyone.
Very weird, yeah, very weird. So that's not this Sunday, but a week from Sunday, I guess, is Slammiversary.
Yeah.
So then the other plot line was these women's what are they called? Knockouts.
The
Championship.
Knockouts title.
And Velvet Sky has had this knee injury for like 3 or 4 weeks now, where they said, oh, it's because Gail Kim attacked her, her legs messed up. Yet she keeps wrestling every week, so obviously it's not that bad of a deal. So finally, it was going to be Mickie James against Velvet Sky for the Knockouts Championship, because I guess Mickie had won the match or whatever. She became the #1 contender in a previous week. So they're doing this promo backstage before the match, and Mickie says to her, "Listen, we're friends, and I really obviously I want this title opportunity, but I would like to actually postpone it because you're not 100%, and I'm afraid I don't want you to lose because you're not 100%." And Velvet Sky says, no, it's okay. I'm the fighting champion. I'll do this. I want to do this. So I want to have this match. And Mickey's like, okay, if you really want to have it, we'll have it.
But she got a bunch of text messages from someone. You don't know who it was. Oh, wait, I'm confusing that again. Sorry.
No, Velvet Sky is not Caitlyn. So They have the match. The match is pretty good. You know, the beginning of the match and everything. Then about halfway through the match, Velvet Sky starts selling the leg. Like, oh no, the knee is out. So then at the end of the match, Mickie James finally is just like, she literally in the ring, she's staring at Velvet Sky who's holding her leg. And Mickey's like, oh well, clips the leg, rolls her up, 1, 2, 3, gets the win. So it was kind of a heelish end, but I don't know if you can really say it was heelish because she warned her before the match. She was like, I don't want to have this match.
They've been teasing the heel turn.
Yeah. So I don't know if Mickey's going to be a heel from now on, if this was the beginning of her heel turn, because she attacked the leg.
I want to see Tessmacher get back in the title picture. She was like a good thing they had going there, and then they just, no more.
I don't know, yeah. She's just like, she doesn't even wrestle anymore. I don't know, like what happened to her.
I don't know.
Did she fall out of grace or something? I don't know.
But
yeah, so we have a new Knockouts champion is Mickie James as of this week, and we'll have to see what happens if this leads into Slammiversary where they have the rematch probably or something like that. And then, of course, the big thing going on right now is that Sting is going to face Bully Ray at Slammiversary. But what's going to happen with AJ? Is he going to join the Aces and Eights, or is he going to ally with Hogan and Sting? And it's the same thing. Like, they're still going out with the same plot line. Now, the thing that I found the weirdest about this week's Impact is that they kept running the promo for Slammiversary. Guess who's in all of the artwork and the video packages?
this?
Jeff Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
So he's on the promo poster. I was like, why? He's not on the pay-per-view.
Because, like, they use him for a lot of this stuff. Because people that don't watch, they think they're going to go, oh, I know Jeff Hardy, I'll buy this.
Yeah, but
I don't think it really happens.
It's fake. It's false advertising because he's not on the pay-per-view.
No, they advertised the whole tour of the UK that he wasn't even on with him.
I guess that's true.
He was on I
guess that's true, too. Is he injured or something? Is there a reason why he's not wrestling right now?
No, he's just... They probably don't have the spot for him right now or whatever,
So
or he's on a little vacation or something.
So it's really weird because they're doing that. But anyway, so again, they've made this match Angle versus AJ at Slammiversary. They're going to have this because they're going to have it out because Angle's so pissed that AJ won't help them, okay? But the whole thing, all night, Aces and Eights keep saying AJ's going to take his patch today. He's getting his patches. So I guess what they're saying is they're going to give him he's going to join Aces and Eights.
Does he get prostitutes like Mr. Anderson got?
He didn't get any prostitutes. I know.
Mr. Anderson got prostitutes and beers.
Anderson gets prostitutes and
alcohol. 2 prostitutes and beer.
Right.
That's what AJ should have, that he might join.
So the whole show, they're teasing that AJ is going to join Aces and Eights and whatever. So at the end of the show, Aces and Eights comes out.
Yeah.
And that's it. They're going to induct him or whatever. And so you've got Hogan and Sting and Angle kind of looking on, like, is this going to happen? What's going to happen? So Bully Ray pulls out a beer and actually gives a beer to AJ, and he says, "I know that you don't drink." He says, "You don't drink. You probably, you very rarely have ever drank. I want you to drink this beer with me." And AJ drinks it. Now I don't know if he really is a person that doesn't drink, and if that was a real beer. I don't know what they were kind of getting at there. I don't know. It was really odd. So, but they drink the beers together, and he's like, "All right, that's it." And they're gonna put the coat on him. And then Angle comes out and, oh, no, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. So they're teasing like he's not going to do it. And he does it anyway. He puts on the coat. So now he's part of Aces and Eights. They've inducted him into Aces and Eights. Oh, my God, oh, my God. So Angle hits the ring because he's so pissed off. And then the whole Aces and Eights beat the shit out of him. Like, they're really stomping the shit out of him. And then they pull out that stupid ball-peen hammer that they've used in several matches, and they give it to AJ. And they go, AJ, do it. Do it. Finish him. Just end this. So you don't have to fight him for Slammiversary. Just finish him. And then for some reason, all of Aces and Eights turn and put their backs to AJ. Like, what the hell? Like, why would they do that?
You know why?
Of course. He turns, bonk, bonk, bonk. He goes right down the line. Bonk, bonk, bonk. He knocks out
whack-a-mole.
He knocks out like 4 of them. Yeah, he goes bonk, 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 bonk. And then he runs out of the ring. So then he's like...
They were so sure he was joining. Right?
And then the announcers, AJ has alliance to no one. AJ's the rebel. AJ is his own man. He does what he wants. And then the show just ends there. They just cut it. It was pretty funny. So, yeah, AJ does whack-a-mole on Aces and Eights. And, I don't know. So I guess he's going to be kind of like the Austin character, where he has no alliance, don't trust anyone, He's going to do whatever he wants. Will he be the one who eventually beats Bully Ray? I think they're leaning towards that. Like, maybe Sting will lose, but AJ will show up and he'll attack Bully Ray, and that'll lean into that. I don't know.
They got to do stuff, like... having Bully Ray be the leader and reveal and all that, that's all well and good, but you got to do more after that.
Right.
It seemed like they were just like, okay, here's our big thing. You love us now, right? Everybody loves us.
Well, here it is.
Nothing happened for like 3 months.
It's really good, right? You like it, right?
You like it, right? Okay, nothing happens for like 3 months now. Like, you got to keep it. You got to keep having stuff go on. And Bully, like, he finally gets his chance at the top, and you got almost like the albatross around the neck with the storylines to give him, you know, Hogan and his daughter and all this stuff. You know?
Oh, that was the other thing, and I do want to mention that because I forgot. The beginning of the show, Brooke came out because it was Hogan and Sting in the ring, and they were both trying to take responsibility for aces and eights.
Yeah.
Brooke comes out and says, "No, really, it's my fault. I'm the one that fell in love with him, and I'm the one that got us all involved with him, so I'm to blame." Then Bully Ray comes out, and he goes, "No, I'm to blame. I'm the one that did everything," and he's wearing his ready ring. He says, "I still love you, Brooke, look." But then it's weird because later on they do another promo backstage with aces and eights, and they bring it up with him. Like, why are you talking like you still love her? He's like, "That's none of your business. That's my personal life."
Because she might turn.
I get the feeling either she's gonna turn or she's gonna make him lose because she gets involved somehow, and that'll be how he loses the title or something. That's what I'm feeling.
Maybe later on, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sting doesn't win the title. That'd be.
Oh God, please.
That would not be a good way to go.
That'd be terrible. I hope Sting doesn't win the title.
That would completely, you know, cut him.
Right.
Out, so.
Right. So
I think she's gonna probably. She might be part of it. She might screw Sting or something, and then not literally, you know, just hit him with something.
I hope she doesn't screw Sting.
I know it's. Who are we really mad at Sting then?
Oh man,
I'd be extremely upset with Sting then.
We'll have matches for the next year, brother. You and me, brother.
And then we hear promos every week of how he's mad at Sting for banging his daughter.
Oh my God. So I actually enjoyed this week's Impact because it finally did advance many of the storylines to the point now where you know where they're going, you know what the matches that are coming. It seemed like the last few weeks where they were like floundering around, they didn't know what they wanted to do.
They were just killing time.
Yeah, they were just killing time with these plot lines. Now at least we have a definite idea where they're going and what they're going to be doing at Slammiversary. So, all right, so that's it for TNA this week. I don't think in particular there's anything else going on in the wrestling world that's you know, of anything.
I'll say this: go. If you want to see Curtis Axel Triple H, that's not how you put somebody over. You want to see how you put somebody over, watch Cena versus Angle, which I think was Cena's like first television match. And you'll see what the difference is, and Kurt Angle made him look good.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
He still lost. I remember the match.
He still lost, but he made him look like holy shit.
Ruthless aggression. Remember that?
But he was like, holy shit, you almost beat the top guy who's like a champion and blah, blah, blah. That's how it's done. Triple H doesn't really know how to do that stuff.
That's true.
So.
All right, so that's it for this week's edition of Smart Guys, the first live streaming kind of special edition. Let us know, obviously, in feedback whether or not you like this format, because we don't have to do it this way, but I think it makes sense. I mean, we got 500 people on the stream right now, and people are enjoying it, and we're going to put it on YouTube, and I think it's cool to also have this border and stuff, and we don't have to do any editing. That's the other cool thing. Like this, we can literally right now, boom, upload it to YouTube, no problem, and there's no delay or anything with having to edit, and I like that. That's a cool feature in my opinion. So that's it for this week's edition of Smart Guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week to cover everything Raw, SmackDown, Impact, and that will be leading right into Slammiversary. So we should have some interesting stuff to talk about. So,
that's right.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Peace out. See you later.